The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Senora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Monst, instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her when she faces a worthy opponent. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. Fighting talk, I love it! This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Wow.
Time for takeoff.
How
Delve
unbecoming.
into destiny.
It. Crazy.
Let's play. Let me score.
You've made some progress. Poor timing. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. You've got a trick or two. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough. Now, show me what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
What? What?
No use hiding back there. This.
What's
A little weak. Shadows of the...
Something else caught your eye?
Run away?
There's not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get.
Oh.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
What the heck?
This is going to cost you!
Yeah.
to the gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the gnosis to me on purpose? Hand the gnosis over now. Don't make me take it from you.
We didn't take it! Let's play! Time for takeoff!
What the hell? Có rồi. Đấy à, thế à. Waduh.
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for me. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you had no connection to the Gnosis.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take...
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Senor's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall...
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to...
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone. In fact, it might be that...
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce. As such, we must now look to...
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who... Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the GR Archon in the Archon War. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How could an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon, using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation, but knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well. That... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Lira, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have knew. Did we make it in time? As they
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon...
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you... Just seeing this overlord of the Vortex guy puts up...
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies? So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here...
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is...
What? Wait, all of you are supposed to be the Guardians of Lilith. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Yep.
Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you. One wishes to witness.
is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Stay right there.
Time for takeoff. Bitch, you guys attack me again! There are so many between you! We can't look!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children? Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is Adeptal energy! You got light from your body. It's like the tide of Julian cars. Wow! It's a mad pink shockwave!
What?
This grid is really strong!
My work. Looks like I went too far.
Yes?
I guess stay right there.
Let's move.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Face no fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Retribution!
Think you can get away? Shadows of fate!
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Looks like I went too far. This time.
Over here!
Stay right there.
Retribution!
I guess.
Time for takeoff! Shadows of fate!
Retribution!
Look at me! Yeah!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't go another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short. It will be some time before.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some level. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to... Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a...
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearn to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known, but I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us some—
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should—
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come to I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the—
Huh? Why does everyone look so down?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty steaks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next Olymp—
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You see, this is what Liyue is like to— The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection, although their blood is weak. There is the time of contracts.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to—
Your line of inquiry is askew.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of— One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, fair enough. Away we shall, and
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall but how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we—
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never— Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need— Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhang Li's going. What? Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Is there anything I can do for you two?
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the... Do you think he doesn't know about the attack? We had better go...
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... you!
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you! You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could hit, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that—
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly...
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think—
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now...
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which...
How sanctimonious.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Lyric goes into a...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring...
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell. I stood motionless among the crowds, asking.
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hasten. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? So I feigned my own death and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed... That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard...
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply...
Of course. And it would have been all too easy for him, too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried to understand. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Senora. She managed to keep everything she knew. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli and fulfilled the traditions of... These things were all a part of my script. The only I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain...
Huh? That doesn't sound...
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this...
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You...
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hand...
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and...
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for...
Realistically speaking.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the... Uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys. One of the clauses...
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake? We've spent so much time trying to organize it. It would be a real shame not to go there now.
So dark. There's only one real possibility in my mind. The Fatui. Shh. Though.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the
Say, do you think the person...
Now that you mention it, I mean, it all fits. Still, what sort of supernatural...
Ah, forget it. Guessing...
Hear ye all, the Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the merc? Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right? Oop. Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and...
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among...
Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we re-establish our contract?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking...
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is... Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Wow, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
But it seems as if... Well, that's fine. Suffer no...
Perhaps...
Roping you in.
would I not feel more at ease after laying... Right. If the two of you can spare the time,
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knock.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should have... When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've... But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have... In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true... I must thank you. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true.
Paimon thinks...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in...
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma be...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, but if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those...
That's how people in Tibet see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of...
They want to seize visions? But why? Aren't visions blessing?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessing.
Whoa, that's up.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of, 7 ideals for 7 gods. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? That said, I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? All right then. Was there...
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all its... Those poor Snezhnai. All right then. Was there any... The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't walk, Kuching is absolutely right in... Now, though I did laud... Could the original person who brought... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Morg since Morax is dead? Are they all just going to disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue.
Then, did you at least set some private...
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that All right, then. Was there... Well, then. I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside. All right, then. Was...